Hey guys, what is going on? And welcome back to my Halloween Horror Reviews 2021. And before I continue on, can you guys believe that we're already halfway through October? I mean, it is absolutely crazy how fast time flies. Moving on with today's review, I'm going to be talking about a Stephen King adaptation. And this is a Stephen King adaptation that, even though it got great reviews, it doesn't get talked about nearly enough amongst the likes of, let's say, The Shining, Doctor Sleep, It, Gerald's Game. For today's review, I'm going to be talking about 1408, directed by Michael Hofstrom. I hope I didn't just butcher your name there, sir. In 1408, we follow Michael Enslin, portrayed by John Cusack, a writer who goes around to these haunted places and writes about them in books, and you can tell that he used to believe in this stuff quite a long time ago, but unfortunately, due to an event of his past, every time he goes to do one of these things, it's essentially just a big paycheck for him. Until one day when he gets a postcard from New York that's showing the images of this place called the Dolphin Hotel, and on the back of this postcard it says, "Do not enter 1408," which he takes as a challenge. He goes to the Dolphin Hotel, and even after the hotel manager's insistence, played by Samuel L. Jackson, him saying to Michael Enslin, "Dude, you have no idea what you're getting yourself into." Still though, nonetheless, Michael Enslin's like, "That's cute, I'll just go up to my room now." Then he gets the room key, enters 1408, and just says, "Really? That's all you got?" As you can imagine, 1408 is so much more than just a room, and Enslin gets so much more than he bargained for. Alrighty guys, so let's get into 1408.
Damien!
When this movie first came out, I didn't even hear about it at all, even though I went to the movies every week and pretty much all the time, in all honesty. I didn't even hear about this movie until moments before I saw this film, which was, by the way, on a New Year's Eve. If I recall, all that I wanted to do is that I just wanted to spend time with my mother, and she told me, "Well, if you want to spend time with me, I'm just going to be watching me with your godmother." And I just went, "Yeah, that sounds great." My mother and I had gone to my godmother's place. I didn't know the movie that she had picked out, and before we started the movie, she said, "Hey, how does this movie sound?" And that movie was 1408, and I just thought, whoa, that sounds cool. I mean, my mother and my godmother know I'm a huge horror fanatic. We had play, and my word, this movie, 1408 to say the least, this movie is terrific. When it comes to Stephen King adaptations, I have not seen all of them, though I think I have seen the majority of them. I mean, I love The Shining, I love Doctor Sleep, I love The Mist, I love It. Well, the first chapter, chapter 2, I thought was okay. I love Gerald's Game, and I even have a fondness for Silver Bullet. Yes, I have seen Silver Bullet. No one talks about this movie, which blows my mind, because 1408 deserves so much more credit because of how great it is. I mean, 1408 is not only a really fun horror movie, but at times, it is fucking freaky, man. Getting right into the performances, before I talk about John Cusack, I want to talk about Samuel L. Jackson here really quick for one specific reason. If y'all have been following his career ever since he started his career, especially in his more recent years, Samuel L. Jackson, do not get me wrong, I love me some Samuel L. Jackson, but let's be real here. He essentially plays himself in every single movie he is in. It's entertaining as all hell, but at the same time, I love it when Samuel L. Jackson disappears in his film roles. This is one of the few film roles that he is in which he totally loses himself in that character. Despite him not having a lot of screen time here, Samuel L. Jackson is terrific in this movie. One of my favorite scenes involving Samuel L. Jackson is the sequence where right before John Cusack goes into 1408 and Samuel L. Jackson asks him one more time, "Please, don't do this." The look on Samuel L. Jackson's face going like, all right, that's the next one in the books, let's just do this. Obviously, Samuel L. Jackson is terrific in this movie, but let's be real here. 1408 is John Cusack's movie, and John Cusack is one of those actors that I feel like doesn't get enough credit for what he does. I don't know if John Cusack has been in more horror films. I'll have to do more research on this. His performance in this movie it's so good. I mean, if John Cusack doesn't work in this movie, 1408 does not work. I mean, Samuel L. Jackson can only do so much with this amount of screen time, but this is the John Cusack show, and John Cusack more than shows up to the task. He has an incredible arc, going from somebody that from the start of the film doesn't seem to believe in this stuff only because he wants to get the next paycheck. As his time progresses throughout 1408 in the room, throughout the hour that he's in, you really feel as if that his faith in what he believes in is starting to come back to him. John Cusack has many, and I mean many, great scenes in this movie, but one of my favorite parts of this movie when it comes to his performance is this. It's when he first enters 1408 and he's just waiting for the terror, for everything to pop out at once. And right when it comes, he takes one look and he just goes like,
"This is it? You gotta be kidding me."
Ignorance and arrogance at his finest. It's after that part, it's like the room as if was saying, or thinking to itself, I should say,
"I'm going to kill you."
this movie is a psychological horror film, but one of the things that I absolutely love about how it deals with that genre is how throughout John Cusack's character's time in 1408 in that room, of how the room slowly builds up its changes. Like, for example, of how it switches the toilet paper out of nowhere. But one of my favorite things about this film and how it progresses out, how it uses, of course, this. The use of that song is absolutely brilliant. And how it continues on using that song, it's like the room was going like, oh, you thought we were done. Changing the room temperature, seeing how we see certain past visitors of the room, and then finally making him see essentially his past life. Because like Samuel L. Jackson's character said, the hotel manager, he says to him, it's an evil fucking room. Especially from his father to his kid. I mean, this room is not playing around, and I absolutely love the way how this movie demonstrates this movie, not only its power, but the evil of this room. Something else that I absolutely love about 1408 is Michael Hafstrom's direction. Let's say 90% of this movie takes place in this room, and how the director is able to change things up along the way. Now here's the thing, I have not seen the short story, I have not read the short story, so I couldn't tell you what's in the short story. I probably should have read before filming this, but nonetheless. I love how Michael Hafstrom is able to keep things fresh and interesting throughout the entire thing. How he was able to pull out the scares, the freakier moments, and even more so, how he was able to make you think, what the hell was that? Something else that I absolutely love about 1408 is not only the cinematography, but the production design. I love the way that Michael Hafstrom shoots this film. There are certain sections to where he moves the camera in a way in order to not only disorient you, but in order to confuse you as well, to put you in John Cusack's character's state of mind. One of my favorite scenes, I remember the first time I saw this, it blew my mind, is when it's revealed that John Cusack, when he thinks he has gone out of that room, but then he's at the post office and everyone looks at him going like, you don't think you're actually out of the room, do you? Alright guys, let's show this a place apart and show him where he's actually at. Seeing the destruction of the post office and seeing how it seamlessly, and I mean seamlessly goes back into that room. Well done to the production designer, because man, this is some impeccable work and I thought they did an absolutely incredible job here with this. Is this movie scary? I say absolutely yes. Do I think it's scary among the levels of, let's say, The Shining, or even It Chapter 1, or Gerald's Game, or even Dr. Sleep for that matter? Not quite. With that being said, there are some amazing and some freaky as hell sequences. This sequence I'm about to talk about, I just went, holy crap, that's fucked up. He has just been through the ringer at this point. He has seen memories of his daughter going through a long battle with cancer and everything that has happened afterwards. But then, in the sequence in the room is in total disarray. His daughter comes back, and he's just going like, no, you are not my daughter. And he's having it for a second, but then afterwards he gives in, and the heartbreak in this scene. It is when he has his daughter embrace, and then bam, she disappears like that. Once again, it goes to that statement that Samuel L. Jackson said, it's an evil fucking room. 1408 is psychological horror done right. There is some blood in there, but it's not a gory movie. More than anything else, like I mentioned earlier, it is a movie that would rather show you things. It would make you question on what's real and what's not real, and then finally it proceeds to mess with your head going like, what the fuck was that?
Happy purge, you old fuck!
In terms of the best Stephen King adaptations, do I think that this is the best, the creme de la creme? No, in fact, there are some issues that hold it back from being what could be the best Stephen King adaptation. Could this movie have been even scarier? Yes, it definitely could have been scarier. There are some sequences where The scares feel like they could be coming through, but the scares just don't quite work as well as they should have. Something else that I will say is this: the ending. I don't think that 1408's ending is particularly a bad ending because there are aspects that I do like about it, but more than anything else, 1408's ending, for me at least, is a bit of a mixed bag. There are some questions that 1408 does answer by the end, but by the ending, this movie raises even more questions and it leaves it a bit too ambiguous on, at least that's what I think. If you guys saw this movie in the theater, you will all know that this was one of 3 endings. The director's cut is actually, in my eyes, a better ending. I do prefer that ending, even though it's a bit of a downer. Still though, I do prefer that ending a lot more because it seems like more of a complete ending. This ending is still not bad, but I do prefer the director's cut ending more. Do not get me wrong. So overall, is 1408 the best Stephen King adaptation out there? No. However, at the same time, nonetheless, 1408 is still a damn great psychological horror film. Wada is also a damn great Stephen King adaptation, and it's an adaptation that I feel like no one talks about anymore. All in all, I'm gonna give 1408 a 4.5 out of 5 stars. It's not the best Stephen King adaptation out there, but still, it is a damn good one, and if you guys have not seen it, I highly recommend you guys see this movie. So comment down below and let me know. Have you guys seen 1408? What did you think? Let me know below. If you guys want to follow me on social media, I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Twitch. I'm also on Snapchat. So if y'all want to follow me on all those social media platforms, all the links in the usernames are in the description below. I hope you all enjoyed my review of 1408. If so, please hit that like button, also subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell whenever the latest video of mine goes live. If you guys want to see it in my previous 2 reviews, please click it right there or right there. And of course, until my next review of my Halloween Horror Reviews 2021 comes up, I will see you guys next time.